So today I'm going to share 5 tips for those of you who are new to the ABDL community. Number 1, educate yourselves. As with anything worthwhile, you're going to do your research. You're going to find out what it's about and if it's something that you're into or not. Don't be one of these people who gets involved, they're in it for 6 months, and they go around telling everybody all about it because they've been in it for 6 months and they know everything there is to know about ABDL. Understand the aspects and the terms within the lifestyle. Understand some experiences within the lifestyle. Everybody can give you exciting information about what they do when they're in ABDL, what kind of things they're into, what kind of things they like. You need to understand what part of ABDL DL you're going to be. Are you going to be just a DL? Are you going to be an AB? Are you going to be an ABDL? Are you going to be into it for the kink, the fetish, the lifestyle? Are you going to be into age play? What is it that you're wanting to get out of ABDL? By researching and learning about ABDL and DL, you're going to find what fits right for you. Help you to make more informed decisions as to you within this lifestyle. And of course, knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more confident you'll be within the community. Number 2, join online communities. The ABDL community is filled with a lot of supportive people. And I say a lot, probably 90%, because there are 10% of those that are just worthless. They push their narrative onto you, and if you don't agree with their narrative, then they kind of poo-poo you. So ignore them. Join forums, social media groups, and websites dedicated to the ABDL DL lifestyle. Subscribe to YouTube channels such as The Padded Agent. Yes, I know that was a very shameless plug, but we do what we can around here. By joining online communities, you'll be able to connect with others within the lifestyle who are willing to share experiences that they've had within the community. Find support, ask questions, share your own experiences that you're having thus far. And yes, you may feel with your questions that the question's probably been asked 1,000 times and people are sick of hearing it, but it's the first time you're asking the question. I know Reddit users, they complain all the time. Oh, this question's asked once a week. Why can't these people go into the search menu and da-da-da? And I understand their frustration as well. I mean, I do understand that. There's a search bar for a reason. But on a positive note, most of your Reddit users will in fact answer the question, even though they're annoyed as hell with the 1,000th time the question's asked that week. Most of them will still answer your question for you. And sometimes some are nice enough to answer the question and direct you to a search bar so that you can research anything that you want to research on Reddit without having to ask the question over and over again. But remember, on these sites, respect and open-mindedness is key. It's kind of the order of the day, if you will. Number 3, start small with your gear. Now, I can say with experience that, start off small with your gear purchases. Because I went out and I must have spent $2,500 on all kinds of things. I spent my savings on ABDL stuff when I first got involved in the ABDL community. And all that stuff ended up getting thrown away at some point during it just got thrown away because I stopped wearing it or using it or whatnot. I think at one point I had like 100 pacifiers, and I don't even like using pacifiers, but I had, there they were sitting there mocking me every night. But experimenting with diapers, onesies, pacifiers, and other ABDL DL gear is kind of exciting. And as I said earlier, there's those of us that'll go out and buy the whole farm right off the bat, not caring what they're doing. They're just buying everything. But take your time at building up your gear. Take it from me. Take your time building the gear. Most within the community, and I didn't know this, but most within the community have taken time. They've built through years and years their ABDL gear. So you see people with videos out there that show you their closet and all their onesies and all the things that they have and so forth. They don't tell you how long it took them to get all that stuff together. Most of them, it usually takes a number of years for them to get a nice ABDL gear. It's important to start with what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel happy. Diapers. Maybe start off with a pacifier. Nothing says you have to go out and just get everything all at once. Start off slowly. Put together a collection of your own. Explore different options and find out what suits your preferences. Number 4, establish boundaries. Before you start looking for that partner, make sure you understand your own boundaries. What's going to be acceptable for you? Because nothing's worse than going out on your first get together with a partner, a potential partner, I should say, and they say, "What are you into?" And you're like, but you also need to understand what's not going to be acceptable to you. A lot of us are like, "Oh, this isn't acceptable for me. That's not acceptable for me. That's not acceptable for me." But they never talk about what is acceptable to them. So you need to know what's acceptable to you and what's not acceptable to you. What kind of behaviors are right and wrong for you. Communication, as with any relationship, plays a major role. But I think communication within a kink fetish lifestyle outside the norm, I think communication is more vital than ever. And make sure to have open and honest discussions about your boundaries and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. A lot of people will wait until the last minute. Say you're not into spankings. Let's just say you're not into spanking. And you get involved in this relationship and he or she delivers one to you and you get upset and you huff and puff. Did you tell them that that wasn't acceptable? No, you didn't. So therefore, why are you getting mad? So have those open discussions with them about what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And allow them to tell you what's acceptable and what's not acceptable for them. Trust me, by having these yes and no conversations, it's going to help your relationship 1,000%. Number 5, accept self-acceptance. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to be ABDL. I know. There are a lot of people on social media, they're going to push their opinion as to what is right and what is not right with ABDL, or the right or wrong way. Telling everyone that if they're not doing ABDL the way they want it done, or the way they have chosen to live it, then you need to get out of the ABDL altogether. Yeah, to them we just say, "Aw, you're cute." Embrace your desires and realize that everybody's journey in ABDL is unique. Everybody has their own way of being ABDL. Again, no right, no wrong way. Accept yourself and be proud of who you are. And surround yourself with all that is holy. Surround yourself with positive people. Avoid those negative people like the plague. Now, if you've stayed with me up to this point, here's a bonus. You're going to go through stages of loneliness and shame. You may even purge all of your ABDL stuff. And a month or so later, you might go out and binge and get all kinds of other ABDL stuff and start your journey over again. This happens with many, many people within the community. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. People binge and purge all the time. Binge and purge. Me, my problem is the onesies that I bought that I had never wore, they shrunk. I don't understand. I'd never washed them or anything. They just shrunk. They just wouldn't fit anymore. We're not going to say that I gained any weight. We're just going to say they shrunk. But with some people, the shame and loneliness is just way too much for them. And as a result, they purge all their stuff. So my advice to you would be, if you get to that point where you need to purge your stuff, pack it away. Put it in storage. Put it in a closet. Put it somewhere out of sight, out of mind. Because in a month or two later, you're probably going to regret throwing it all away and want it all back. And if there's one thing I can tell you about being in the ABDL lifestyle, do not be afraid to be yourself. If someone has a problem with you being in the ABDL lifestyle, that's their problem, not yours. I hope this helps. Take from it what you will. Leave what you don't need. Just a nickel's worth of free advice. So like, subscribe, share the video, and until the next time, be blessed.